Hello, ASMR Nation. Today, let's do some book recommendations from September Bookpage. My favorite type of paper is like onion skin magazine paper. I'll pop some gum in my mouth. We are doing extra classic bubble. And if you just seen me in this shirt, congratulations, because I just filmed a video before this, so I'm an outfit repeater. So, fall's finest fiction. You can get Bookpage at your library. It's free, and it's just got like new books that are coming out, but sometimes there's older books in here too. The first one I circled is not a new book. I want to read it. It's called Bunny. For a surrealist send-up of the liberal arts world turned to Mona Awad's clever, disturbing Bunny. Penguin, $18. That's not bad for a book these days. Samantha Mackey made it into the MFA Creative Writing program of Warren University, thanks to a scholarship. Other writers, a tight-knit circle of wealthy young women known as the Bunnies, convene regularly for a horrifying ritual. When Samantha is invited to take part, she learns difficult lessons about female friendship, her own identity. This haunting, often funny novel probes the dark side of academia and the challenges of the artistic process. It's said to be kind of like a fever dream book, which I tend to like when I'm in the mood for them. I don't know what this is, but it's company. It's a cookbook, but like I circled this word, Midwestern nonchalance. And I tried to look it up, like what is Midwestern nonchalance? Does anybody know? Because it's a term I haven't heard before, but something is like making me want to know exactly what Midwestern nonchalance is. So if you guys have heard it, I feel like it would be something people not from the Midwest have heard of more, and we're just in it and we don't know because we're already in the Midwest, so we don't know what it is. Like, we don't think we have an accent, you know? And other people are like, no, you got an accent. Okay. What do we have here? The Second Murderer. And this is in the whodunits. Many a mystery writer has taken a shot at reimagining the work of Raymond Chandler, usually with mixed results, but The Second Murderer, Denise Mina, seamlessly resurrects Chandler's super sleuth Philip Marlowe right from the opening. I was in my office, feet up, making use of a bottle of mood straightener I kept in the desk. As was often the case with Marlowe, as penned by Chandler, our hero can be found in a high society mansion in one scene and sleeping off a hangover in a Skid Row flophouse the next. That's my jam. That's my jam. I like versatility. Mansion, Skid Row. Love it. The Second Murderer is a pre-World War II Los Angeles set PI mystery with a modern sensibility, and it plays much better than one might expect of such an amalgam. I don't know what that is. Marlowe's latest gig is to track down the missing socialite Chrissy Montgomery, who will be in possession of a sizable bank account once her father dies, an event that could happen at any moment by the looks of him. To ensure Chrissy is found, her father insists that Marlowe team up with Anne Riordan, a gumshoe, who is also the head of a detective agency staffed entirely by women. Mina has done what few before her have managed. ably resuscitating Marlowe for legions of Chandler fans yearning for one more installment. So this must be a long-running series, but it's mixing in this like women's agency now. And that's what that looks like. Denise Mina, a second murder. And then I circled A Killer in the Family, and the cover looks really cool for that one. A Killer in the Family. With last year's inventive and suspenseful Little Sister, Gaitha Lodge propelled herself onto mystery fans' must-read lists, including that of this reader. I am happy to announce her latest Jonah Sheen mystery, A Killer in the Family, is just as impressive. Oh yeah, this one sounds cool. Aisling Cooley sends a DNA sample to an ancestry website in hopes of locating her long-missing father, but she's horrified when she's subsequently contacted by DCI. Jonah Sheen's Aisling's DNA closely aligns with that found at a murder scene, which I think is fascinating that they are catching people because of these ancestry kits now. And I know a lot of people are worried about, oh, what happens if they use your DNA and they plant it? Do you not have an alibi? Like, were you even in that state? And it doesn't say, like, if they find a relative's DNA, it doesn't say it's you. It just says you're related. So then they try to, like, figure out, did your cousin murder somebody? This is good. I know it can feel scary, and some technology is good. Some. And I think this DNA stuff is, as long as there's internal like we keep it clean, you know? That's the other thing. We can't trust I won't get into it. But the fact that every time you submit your DNA, if your cousin left DNA at a murder scene, they could contact you and have you sort out who the heck in your family is a murderer. So that's what A Killer in the Family is about. Alright, the kids are alright. Parenting books. Got some parenting books here. Calm the Chaos and Growing Up in Public. Calm the Chaos is about empowering parents of children who need extra emotional, physical, and developmental support. A 5-stage framework that helps parents navigate and quell the storm. Each stage has been broken into manageable chunks, often with illustrations. Abraham knows the parents who need her help do not have a lot of free time. In a conversational, relatable way, Abraham helps families create safety through love for their high-needs child, so each member can move from surviving to thriving. Each chapter includes lists of questions that help assess your current needs, actionable steps to put into practice based on where you are with your child, and notes to relieve any shame that may come up as you assess your family's needs. Awesome. And then Growing Up in Public by Deborah Heitmer, PhD, offers a wealth of relatable information to steer parents away from simply monitoring the way their children use technology, arguing instead for mentorship approach. So it's like, don't just monitor, but talk probably to your kids about, like mentor them about what's appropriate to post. It is out of hand. And I don't believe in taking the tech away, because I feel like it's a part of the world now and they need to learn. So I think mentorship is probably the right approach. But also, let's be serious. They don't want to listen to their parents about it. They don't. They pretty much want to do, at a certain age, they want to do the opposite of what their parents says. Okay. Happiness Falls. I think this is the same author of Miracle Creek, which was really good. Happiness Falls, $28 by Angie Kim. is proof that a thriller doesn't have to feature private eyes, secret agents, ticking time bombs, and exotic locales to keep the reader spellbound. Angie Kim's suspenseful second novel after Miracle Creek follows a family that lives in a quiet and even, I don't know what that word is, neighborhood near Washington, D.C. They try to stay out of trouble, but trouble comes to them. The mom, Hannah, is a Korean American and an academic. She's married to Adam, who's a white stay-at-home dad. His last name is Parson, hers is Park, and their 3 kids bear a portmanteau. I don't know what that is. Portmanteau of the 2. Parkson. So they combined. I feel like I got a little hair in my mouth. So they combined their last names. It was Parson, Parkson. Now the kids have the last name of Parsons. Parkson. Whatever. Mia and John, 20 years old, are fraternal twins. The youngest child, 14-year-old Eugene, was diagnosed with autism and mosaic Engelmann syndrome, which means he can't talk, has motor difficulties, and usually has a happy demeanor with frequent smiles and laughter. One day, Eugene comes home upset, pushes his sister out of the way, and runs up to his room where he jumps and vocalizes for hours. Later, Mia finds blood beneath his fingernails. Their dad, who took Eugene to the park that day, is nowhere to be found. At first, the Parksons believe that Adam got lost and he'll return, but as the hours drag on, he doesn't show up. Analytical Mia goes onto Sherlock mode, or Vulcan mode. The Parksons are huge Trekkies. As narrator, Mia devotes pages to possible scenarios, adds footnotes to nearly every chapter. The family realizes that waiting 48 hours before calling the police about a missing person is a dangerous myth, and soon the cops are involved. The lead officer's name is, of course, Janice. On one hand, she wants to help the Parksons. On the other hand, she's all but sure that Eugene killed his father and can't wait to clap the traumatized boy in handcuffs. Calling a book unputdownable is cliche, but it has been a while since this reviewer fought off sleep to read 1 or 2 more pages. So it sounds really good. I'm guessing that the son did not kill his dad, because that would not be a very good book if your original suspicions were the ultimate demise, like the ultimate demise, the ultimate, you know what I'm saying. I can't articulate anything unless I'm writing. Now, reviews. We have Exit Interview by Christy Coulter. And this is $29. Her funny, candid memoir. In 2006, Coulter felt stalled in her work and life. She had earned an MFA in writing at the University of Michigan, but now works in management marketing DVDs in Ann Arbor, Michigan. When she spotted an opportunity at the still newish Amazon, she went for it, getting hired to manage the team that merchandised books and media. Soon she and her husband John had a new West Coast life. Coulter takes us along on her wild Amazon ride. From our first days at a company where the desks were made of plywood scraps, where there were no perks like free food or on-site childcare, and where the crisis came fast and frequently. Early on, she noticed that there was something lumpy about Amazon's demographics. When I'm in a room with people beneath me in seniority, a solid third of them are women. But when I'm with my peers and the senior leaders, men usually outnumber women 3-1. Working 7 days a week, Coulter found that feeling of failure rarely left her. She needed 3 or more glasses of wine every night to calm down from the day's stresses. Nevertheless, over the next 10 years, she rose through multiple departments, including Amazon Publishing and Amazon Go. Coulter is a delightful, funny guide to Amazon's quirks and toxicities, and she's alert to personalities and characters around her, including a glimpse of Jeff Bezos and his management style. Occasionally, the memoir uses alternative forms like the chapter Events in the History of Female Employment that mixes memoir and women's history into a funny and infuriating effect. Engaging, well-paced, and thoughtful memoir, Exit Interview takes a clear-eyed look at women in corporate America, particularly tech, noting how far from parity they remain in those worlds. think that might be the last one I circled. No, it's not. We have Sure I'll Join Your Cult by Maria Bamford. Sure I'll Join Your Cult is the definition of kaleidoscopic. In addition to loopy riffs, career insights, and beautifully sad recollections of her mother's illness and death, there are painfully honest chapters about the time period in which Bamford's mind-body had become a vibrating razor blade of electric psychic pain. The resulting psychiatric hospitalizations were often grueling, but ultimately offered a path forward. And then I circled another one called, oh, this is young adult. And I don't usually read young adult, but this one sounds really good. It almost reminds me of the vibes I get from watching Shelter. And it's a mystery. It's called Everyone's Thinking It by Alima Amatoni. Everyone's Thinking It. Ianu wants nothing more than to fly under the radar at Woodbury Hall, a prestigious English boarding school where fitting in is everything. But someone steals a photograph she took at a matchmaking event and spreads them throughout the school. The photos are captured with shocking secrets, including one about her estranged cousin Catan. Lies, betrayal, and scandals. No one's sure what's true and what's not, and everyone thinks Ianu started it all. Catan and Ianu begin investigating, one seeking truth behind the secret she received, and the other determined to clear her name. But along the way, they discover the school may have even darker secrets. So it's an intense mystery about a privileged community. The story unfolds through two perspectives: Ianu, a self-proclaimed outcast and photographer, and Catan, desperate to keep her place in the school's most popular trio. So that sounds really good. You never know when, like, that one almost sounds like it could be a little mini series if it gets adopted into that. A little bit Riverdale, a little bit Shelter. And then on the back, I circled two books that I want to read. I want to read this Vampires of El Norte, and it is for fans of outlawed and Mexican Gothic. Isabel Canas, Vampires of El Norte. Vampires and vaqueros, I don't know what that word is, face off in this Texas-Mexico border in this supernatural western from the author of The Hacienda, which I want to read The Hacienda too. And then we have Lilith, as a novel for fans of The Witch's Heart or something. For fans of Circle and The Witch's Heart. Lyrically rendered, this epic U.S. debut tells the story of the woman known as Adam's first wife. I don't really know Lilith's story, but and her fall from paradise and quest for revenge. So, and then again we have Happiness Falls is on here, Wellness is on here, Wellness, a witty novel about marriage, Women of the CIA, and then The Fraud, historical fiction against the legal trial that divided Victorian England about who gets to tell their story and who gets believed. So those are the blockbuster of fall reads. So that is what I highlighted out of the September book page. If you are still there, thank you for watching to the end. I hope that you have a good rest of your day, rest of your evening, and or a good night's sleep. Let me know what you're going to read this fall. Like, what's on your reading list for September, October? Because mine's all like cozy mystery. I want to read some of these, but I'm really into the cozy mysteries right now. But anyways, back to my extra. What do you call an extra? I hope that you have a good rest of your day, rest of your evening, and